Hi, welcome to the third video of the TOEFL and IELTS Essential Vocabulary series. In video 2, we learned 5 words and now I'm going to review them quite briefly. As I go over them, think about them in your mind first before I tell you what the meaning is. So the 5 words we did last time were authority, available, benefit, concept, and consists. Can you remember what those words mean? That's authority, available, benefit, concept, and consists. Now I'll review them. Hopefully just hearing and seeing those words will help you remember. Authority quite simply means power or person or group with power. Who usually has authority in the classroom? The teacher. Available means that something can be used, bought, or found. For a person, it means that the person is able to hang out with you or meet you because they're not busy. Or more importantly, if a person is available, that means that they're not in a romantic relationship with anyone. They're single! Benefit means that it's an advantage or extra things that you receive. So remember I gave you the hint of the prefix bene, which means good. Concept just means idea. Consist of, phrasal verb, means to be made up of someone or something. So for example, my classroom consists of 15 females and 18 males. Now we have reviewed the previous video's words. I hope that wasn't even needed because you've already memorized them. We're going to start the new words for video 3. Our 5 new words are constitute, context, contract, create, and data. Again, as we go through these videos, I want you to think about some of the words that we learn, the way they sound and the parts of the words that exist. For example, the prefixes and suffixes. And over time, you'll come to have a better understanding of what a word might mean, even if you've never seen the words before. We'll go through some examples with more lessons to come. Our first word is constitute. Constitute. Constituencies. Constituency. Constituent. Constituents. Constituted. Constitutes. Constituting. Constitution. Constitutions. Constitutional. Constitutionally. Constitutive. Unconstitutional. Constitutional quite simply means that it's allowed by a country's constitution. And what does constitution mean? The system of beliefs and laws by which a country, state, or organization is governed. For example, the punishment of burning someone for a crime is not constitutional. In other words, the punishment of burning someone for a crime is not allowed by the Constitution. When I think of Constitution, I think of the American Constitution, we the people, which starts out with, we the people of the United States. That is our first word. Our second word in the video is context. 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 Contextual. Contextualize. Contextualized. Contextualizing, uncontextualized, contextualize, contextualized, contextualizing, uncontextualized. Context, a noun, means the words that are used with a certain word or phrase and that helps to explain its meaning. For example, to really know a word, you must be able to use it in context or in a sentence with other words. Another example is if the words that someone has said are taken or quoted out of context, they are repeated without explaining the situation in which they were said so that their meaning is changed. A lot of times the media quote movie stars out of context to create interesting or exciting news. A while ago, headlines stated that Taylor Swift said, "You are insulting yourself" to fans. Fans were angry when they read that. But the media didn't mention that before she said that line. She said, "Do not compare yourself to others. If you do so, you are insulting yourself." After understanding the context of the sentence, the fans were very forgiving to Taylor. A third word is contract. Contract, contracted, contracting, contractor, contractors, contracts. It's a noun and a verb. Contract is a legal agreement between people, companies, etc. And if you rent an apartment and break the contract, not following the agreement, you will most likely lose your deposit. To contract means to make an agreement by contract to work or to pay someone to work. For example, recently I contracted a carpenter to do work on my house. Our fourth word today is create. Create, created, creates, creating, creation, creations, creative, creatively, creativity, creator, creators, recreate, recreated, recreates, recreating. Create just means to make or produce something or to cause something new to exist. For example, the president has announced a plan to create new jobs. Some good synonyms for this word is produce, generate, make, or fashion. And no, not fashion as in clothing and jewelry. Look it up. Our fifth and last word for today is data or data. Data is facts or information used usually to calculate, analyze, or plan something. Some words that have similar meaning is facts, figures, statistics, and details. Data is a very special noun. It doesn't have other words in its family, and it's a plural in form, but is used with both plural and singular verbs. For example, you can ask, is this data accurate? Or, are these data reliable? When used with plural verbs, data is thought of as the plural form of the noun datum, which means a single piece of information. Data, however, is usually used with plural verbs only in formal or technical writing. Please keep that in mind. So those are our 5 words for this video. I hope you have a good understanding of their meaning. I'm going to read them back to you, and as I'm reading them, think of your own example sentence for each word. It's extremely important that you always think of your own sample sentences because that proves that you really understand the meaning. The words are, again, constitute, context, contract, create, and data. To finish, I'm going to read a sentence relating to each word, and I want you to think in your mind which word I'm talking about. Remember, I won't use the word itself. Number 1, in America, we are guaranteed the freedom of speech by the law. 2, recent statistics show an increase in allergic reactions to apples. 3, before starting work, both the employer and the employee must sign an agreement. 4, the engineer built a beautiful park in the middle of the neighborhood. 5, you can misinterpret a remark or comment if you look at the situation, assessing the statements before or after. So, I hope all of you figured out which word I was talking about in each example sentence. And by now, I think you have a good picture of our 5 words today. Please review the words again whenever you have time. Look at the title. It will have the 5 words. Feel free to comment in the box below, especially feedback on the quality, format, and how you felt it was. If you enjoyed it, like, share, and of course, subscribe. Thank you everyone, and good luck with your learning. Bye.